Good afternoon, RH Simulation members. Hello again on this new video. So I'm so happy because we are right now 88 subscribers and the channel is growing up day after day, and I'm so happy. I want to thank you so much for helping me to build this community and to understand the concepts of the Airbus A320. So I have new hardware. I bought a microphone because we are growing up. I was using thrust microphone, and I bought a new microphone from Maono DGM20S. It's very well. It's performing very well. I tested a lot of time. It has also noise cancellation in order to get the quality better and better. So today we are going to discuss about mass and balance. Many of you guys are using simulator, but they are not well, they don't know what does it mean, the zero fuel mass, and how we calculate it, because the Airbus A320 whatever you are using, Phoenix, or you are using fly-by-wire, it has an EFB that it calculates automatically, and this is obviously the same as the real life. But once you are doing your flight training or you are flying general aviation aircrafts, you need to do the mass and balance by yourself, because before moving to the Airbus A320 you should fly you should fly a general aviation aircraft. And believe me that it seems complicated, mass and balance, but it is easy, you can't imagine. So we are going to clarify everything in this video. So let's start up by first of all giving power to the aircraft, because we are making a full flight from Lyon to Zurich, and this flight is going to be in two parts, because the first part I want to take my time explaining mass and balance, and the second part is going to be the flying part. So let's start up by giving energy to our aircrafts. Batteries and external power on, fuel supply oxygen, crew supply oxygen, strobe lights, nav lights, seat belts, and no smoking sign, and we arm the emergency external lights. So we test the cockpit voice recorder. So good, and let's let the aircraft doing its proper things. So I want to do the MCDU parts very quickly, and then we move to mass and balance. So basically I'm going to upload the flights. Here we have. So I have read everything, the QNH, the METAR, the TAF, everything. So let's insert it, because the video is not going to be focused on the flying parts. I'm talking about the first part, which is this one. IRS are on, and let's bring the flight plan. I'm going to upload it from my MCDU. So we are going from Lille, or let's do something better to enjoy. So the best thing that we have is the tablet. So we are going from LFLL to LS Zulu Hotel. Okay, so we inserted here. Flight number is going to be Swiss 31 Alpha. The alternate we have LSGG. Cost index of 21, and cruising level 220. The temperature outside is 15. So 15, and let's grab the tropopause. one. And the wind, we are going to request it. We assume that our company has the authorization to do it, so we request and update it. Let's grab the flight plan. So LFLL. Before, to not waste time, I'm going to start uploading the mass and balance. Okay, so fast time, and let's go. So we have runway 35 left for departure. We have an SID departure of Resort 8 November. Resort 8 November. Inserts, then airports. We go to Resort. We go to Airways. Tango 45. Then I write directly Zulu 76. It gives us VNAT. Then I write Zulu 57. Direct Dopil. So here we have Dopil. And insert. Then we go arrival. And we insert runway ILS 14. And we have Dopil to Golf arrival. Dopil to Golf arrival. Then next phase is going to be the secondary flight plan. Correction. Copy active. We go to the secondary flight plan. Alternate. So we have a direct. Let's go to inserts. Airports. We go to Zurich. We insert departure is going to be 14, and we have a direct, so no SID. Perfect. Then we return back. We go to the airports. LSGG. We select arrival, and we have Ulm to Romeo. So it's going to be a runway 22, ILS 22, and we have Ulm to Romeo. And that's it. Then in case of engine out SID, I'm going to select over here. Let's select LFLL. Radial of or radius is going to be 353, and then of 20 nautical miles. I will upload it, sorry, here, and we are going to have it. Then from here we go to LS Zulu Hotel, new destination. LS Zulu Hotel, new destination 14, and no star. Then return flight plan, sorry, second flight plan, clear, and here we have it. Then at PD02 we hold, and we make a course of 353, right turn, and then we compute. Here we have it. Then we go to flight plan, LFLL, fix info, LFLL, runway 35 left. We are going to have radial of 353. I did a mistake on the second flight plan. I will correct it right now. Then radial of 20 nautical miles, and we are going to have it there. Perfect. I'll go back to the secondary flight plan. Here on the PD02, I'm going to exit. Okay, then select PD02, hold. It's going to be 140. Yeah, it was correct. It was correct. My mistake. So hold 353 and let it there. So we are good. Right now we go to performance, and we select everything, and we are going to go with packs off. Later on we talk about packs off and packs on, the difference between them, and then calculate. So we have V1 of 154, VR of 154, and V2 of 154. And guys, the V1, if you say in the interview that V1 is decision speed, you fail, because it's not the decision speed. You can abort takeoff, but some companies consider it, and I mean, you can abort takeoff at V1. Well, in general, you cannot abort takeoff at V1, to be clear, guys, because later on I'm going to have comments there. V1, you cannot. After V1, you need to take off your hands from the throttle, because in all 98% of the conditions, you can not abort the takeoff. You cannot reject it. But in some cases, And in some companies, if you say it's just the decision speed, no. In some companies you can actually abort after V1. This is what I have heard, but in case you have very huge structural damage, for example, imagine you are after V1, boom, left wing goes down. I don't know what happens, but it breaks. Cannot in this case continue to take off. You should abort it. These are some conditions that it might happen. Imagine you have a fire, very huge fire in the fuselage. You have the half of the fuselage with only fire. In this case, you continue? For sure, no. Abort the takeoff, even if you overshoot the runway. But in this case, you need to think, because if you overshoot the runway, you will have less damage than if you get burned in flight. Because if you take off and you have fire, huge fire in the fuselage, I will guarantee that you will die. This is 100%. Or maybe, depending on the situation, maybe if you can ditch, do ditching. But ditching is not easy also with fire. And we are talking just about procedures. We are not talking about panics and everything. Well, this is what I have heard, but I have never passed an interview. So V1 in this case is going to be the decision speed where you cannot abort the takeoff. So we have a down of 0.5, flaps 1, and a flex temperature of 65. Perfect. So we have finished with the performance page. Let's go to radio nav. Okay, we have it, because the IRS, if they are not aligned, you are not going to have a radio nav frequencies. They are good. And then we go to init, next page, and let's enter zero fuel weight. Now we are going to talk, my friend. So I'm going to insert 57.424, okay? And I'm going to put Mach zero fuel weight 32. Let's insert it. Let's put block fuel of 5 tons. And now we are going to talk, my friend, about, you are hearing gross weight, Mach gross weight. Here we have it, Mach zero fuel weight, zero fuel weight. First of all, before we get started, we need to understand that me as a pilot, how can I calculate my center of gravity? What is the center of gravity, and what is we have other factors that contribute to calculate the zero fuel weight or the center of gravity. So I'm going to start, my friend. So before starting, we have something that we call it BEM, basic empty weight. Okay, the basic empty weight is basically the weight of the aircraft without anything, without fuel, without load, without pilots, without equipment, anything. This is the basic empty weight of the aircraft. Then we have something that's, well, and if you take the basic empty weight of the aircraft or empty mass, well, there is difference between weight and mass. The mass is constant, but the weight changes depending on the gravity. So we know that the formula of P equals mg. M is mass and P is the and G is the gravity. P is the force. Okay, so the basic empty mass, if we add the crew and standard equipment, we are going to get dry operating mass, because zero fuel mass you cannot calculate it directly. There is, for the dispatcher, it will give as a paper, but you will do your calculation. You need to do your calculation. So as a pilot, yes, for us it is easy to calculate from the mass and balance EFB, but the things does not work like this. Okay, the things you should, as a pilot, you should know how to calculate it, because when I passed my subject mass and balance, in case you remove mass, in case you add masses, in case you do something, you need to know how to calculate this. Okay, let's continue step by step. So I said that the basic empty mass, if you add the crew and the standard equipment, you will get the dry operating mass. Then the dry operating mass, if you add something we call traffic load, something that you as a pilot you need to know what does it mean. So the traffic load is the total weight of all payload that we have on board, packs, cargo, and baggage, excluding the crew, because the crew and their baggage, they are not included in the traffic load. So the crew, baggage, and mass are included inside the dry operating mass, and the dry operating mass plus crew and standard equipment equals to basic empty mass. This we are clear, we have it clear, no? Then if you take the dry operating mass and you add the traffic load, which is the baggage, packs, cargo, everything, this is the traffic load. Here you get the zero fuel mass. So the zero fuel mass, what is? You can calculate it in different way. I'm going to later on give you a graph. So the dry operating mass plus the traffic load, here we get the zero fuel mass. So the zero fuel mass is including what? Is including passengers, equipment, crew, cargo, baggage, everything is included. Mass plus, I mean the dry operating mass, for sure you will get the zero fuel mass. So I'm going to stop in the zero fuel mass because this is the interesting part. Why we calculate the zero fuel mass? So my friend, why we determine the zero fuel mass? We determine the zero fuel mass to see if we have passed the structural limits of the aircraft, because the aircraft has a maximum of zero fuel mass. We call it zero fuel mass, maximum zero fuel mass, sorry. So we need to calculate our zero fuel mass, this one that we have here, in order to see if we have passed the structural limits. So I will give you that the zero fuel mass of the Airbus A320, it varies between 61 tons, which means 61,000 kilograms, to 64,300 kilograms. This is depending on the aircraft, on the Airbus. If we are Neo, CO, depending. Okay, so we know that our limits. Let's see our limits in this case. Okay, we go to MCDU, we go to ATSU, and we select AOC menu. Free text we have here. Let's read together, my friend. We have a zero fuel weight. Here you have it here. Zero fuel weight. We have 57.4. We don't take in consideration takeoff weight. But look there. The maximum no, where is it? We don't have it in the cargo. You should have it in this one. You should have it. But yeah, you should know your aircraft. You go to the manual of the aircraft, and you see that the maximum zero fuel weight of the aircraft is between 61,000 to 64.3 tons of kilogram. In this case, we are 57.4, so we haven't passed the zero fuel weight. So in this case, we are safe. In general aircraft is the same thing, but in general aircraft you have a speed that we call it VA, which is the maneuvering speed. If you pass the maneuvering speed, for example in the Tecnam 2002, the maneuvering speed is 101 knots. If you pass 101 knots, you should be careful on the control to not have or to not get the what we call it structural damage. So this is about the zero fuel mass. We need to calculate it, because if we have I mean in case of we have a zero fuel mass very low and we have fuel, we can get a bending moment. So the bending moment is actually this one. Let's go here. and let's YouTube, or we see it here, bending moment. So the bending moment is this one. When you see the wing is moving, so if we pass zero fuel weight, the wing is going to move very quick. I mean, it's going to move really. So to avoid this and to avoid structural damage, we need to calculate zero fuel mass. Okay, perfect. We have done with zero fuel mass. If you take zero fuel mass and you add the takeoff fuel, you will get the takeoff mass. Easy. And to calculate landing mass, you have your takeoff mass minus the trip fuel, you will get your landing mass. We are going to see it right now. Go to your flight plan, go to where is weights? Yes, here. Or yes, let's go here. So here you have zero fuel weights. Let's bring calculator. So zero fuel weights 50. We have 57.4 plus fuel, but for takeoff, not the not the fuel of the block fuel. Okay. So takeoff fuel. What is it? It is the total or the block fuel minus taxi. How much we have in taxi? So for taxi we have 200. Yes, 200. So let's go again. Bring calculator. 5,000 minus 230. So we have 4.7 or 4.8. Let's consider it. So fuel is 4.8. Give me, yes, here. So 57.4 plus 4.8, we will get 62.2. So from here we bring the takeoff weight. Not we add this plus this, we have takeoff weight. No, this is the block fuel. So the takeoff weight is going to be the block fuel minus what? Minus the taxi fuel. So 5 minus 2, 4.8, 57.4 plus 4.8 of the takeoff fuel, we get the takeoff mass of 62.2. Then we see if we have exceeded the limit of the takeoff mass. We have here the max is 66.4. And for sure you have the max of zero fuel weight. So we are good, my friend. And the Lido flight plan doesn't give you the landing weight. You should calculate it by yourself. How you can do it? You have here the 66.62, sorry, 0.2. So 62.2. Let's see the trip fuel. The trip fuel that we have to Zurich is 1.8, or so, yes. So minus 1.8, you will get what? 64.4. So the landing weight is going to be 64.4. And you see, yeah, 64.4. So here they said 60.3 because there is a trick, or you need to know how to calculate it. Always you take the lowest one. There is different way to calculate landing mass, okay, but always they take the lowest one. We can take the highest one. We have how much? We have 64.4. The limit is 64.5. We are in the limits, so we did not exceed the limit. And then there is another calculation that you can do in order to know how much possible extra fuel you get. So I'm not going to enter more in detail, but yes, this is how to do it. So once you have the takeoff, well, let's go back a little bit. In the dry operating mass, I'm going to say it again. Dry operating mass is the basic empty mass of the aircraft plus crew and standard equipment. You get the dry operating mass. The dry operating mass, basically, if you add the takeoff fuel, you get the operating mass, because dry without fuel plus fuel, you get the operating mass. Then operating mass, you add the traffic load, you get the takeoff weight. In this case, we cannot calculate it because it's not important. The most important one is zero fuel mass, takeoff mass, and landing mass. And yeah, and takeoff mass plus run up and taxi fuel, we get the ramp mass. Okay, my friend. So yes. Another thing, now we are going to move to CG, center of gravity. Why we need to calculate CG? It is important in terms of stability of the aircraft, to know how the aircraft, if the aircraft is stable or not, and it is important for the maneuvering. You should know how you maneuver your aircraft. So here we have, let's talk about something. You know, my friend, that this one, we call it, let's go out. Let's open the door. Let's die. Now let's jump. This one, we call it leading edge. The forward parts of the wing. And the trailing edge is this one. All this, we call it trailing edge. So it starts from here, trailing edge, and leading edge there, just to take it in consideration. So this one, leading edge, trailing edge is here. We need, first of all, to know that we have something, we call it, here we have something, we call it arm or distance. Distance from what? We have virtual points, we make it in the airplane to take it as a reference. Okay, so here we have aircrafts, we call it datum line. Okay, so in order to calculate the center of gravity, we have this graph here. This one is for the Tecnam 2002. It's the same thing of the Airbus A320, but a little bit or easier. Is easier. So we have here is in Spanish, peso en vacío, which is the basic empty weight. Ocupante piloto, número uno, number one, the pilots. Ocupante pasajero, the passengers, and equipaje is the baggage. Combustible is fuel. So here we have the datum or the distance from of the basic empty weight. This is in kilogram. If you multiply the weight by the arm, you will get the moment. We have here kilogram times m, mass. The moment is the weight times distance or times arm. Here we have the example. Okay, thank you for ads. The distance between the C is the distance to the leading edge mean aerodynamic chord, and the B is the mean aerodynamic chord. This is, we call it the mean aerodynamic chord. We are not going to enter in aerodynamics, but this we call it the mean aerodynamic chord. It goes from the wing. So just to have it, it's a formula to calculate the percentage of the how we call it the mean aerodynamic chord. This is a formula, they apply it, but we are not going to see formulas here. So in order to get your center of gravity, you should add all of this, get the total, and add all of this, get the total. So we will get the total of the moments and the total of weights. You bring a calculator, you make total of all this, which is 677. Okay, we have it here. It's an example. So 1042 divided by 606. We will get 1.72, the center of gravity. So we come here. Okay, we select 1042 here, and here 606. So we are within limits in the envelope. So you can know your limits, but also You can this is how you determine the center of gravity. Easy, it is very easy. But in the Airbus A320, in order to calculate zero fuel mass of center of gravity, mean aerodynamic chord, you should first calculate the center of gravity, not in percentage, okay, the index. So to calculate it, you have it here, easy. You have the index right here, and you are going to calculate it. This one is not well detailed. This one is well detailed, okay. So you have the weight and you have the aircraft CG, and then you calculate if you are within limits or not. You use this graph. It's very easy. But also there is a lot of techniques how to calculate it, and how to know if how much you can get an extra fuel. It's the same graph, but you will need you are going to need to make some shifts like this. You go down like this, like dependence on the factors, and then you get it. So the zero fuel center of gravity, how we calculate it? You add everything. You add everything, but you don't add fuel, and then you multiply everything, the moments, and then what you do, you get the total weights, you divided by the total moments, you divided by the total weights, and you get the zero fuel center of gravity. But in this case, let's see it here. In this case, you don't calculate fuel. So in order here to calculate zero fuel mass of the how we call it, the zero fuel mass of this aircraft, you just stop at equipaje, in baggage. You stop right here, okay. Once you stop right here, you can calculate the total weights until here and the total moments until here, and you've divided total moments by the total weights. Give me 1 second, please. So yes, guys, and this is all about weights and how we calculate it. I didn't want to get much into details. If you want me to go more into details, just let me know, and we can discuss in much more details. So my friend, I think I have covered everything. The last thing that I'm going to give you, I'm going to upload down in the description a PDF that you have all the facts of the A320 in mass and balance. It says that the A320 uses a digital weight and balance integrated with the FMS. The maximum total weight ranges from blah 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 to blah blah blah. Maximum zero fuel weight ranges from blah 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 to blah blah blah. Traffic load from 18 tons to 19 tons, and you have everything there if you want to take a look. And if you want to get in mass and balance deeper and deeper, we can get deeper and deeper. Also, another point that I want to mention is the here in the fuel. Where is the fuel? Yeah, here. So always the A320, it consumes fuel first from the center tank. So if you have a full, for example, it starts with the center tank, not the wing, and then it goes to the wing, okay. And also during flight, because we calculate the zero fuel weight, you need to know that during flight the fuel consumption of the Airbus A320 makes the center of gravity to move forward. So during flights it moves forward once we are burning more and more fuel. So I'm going to stop here the video, guys, the first part. Thank you for watching till the end, and I hope you have get something. I'm going to give you in the descriptions some PDF in order to see and to take a look and know the pilots, how they calculate, and also to take a look, because as flight simmer I think you are not getting in the details. So my friend, thank you so much for reaching the video until the end, and for reaching us 88 subscribers. I hope you like my videos, and I'm trying to upgrade a little bit hardware and also skills for sure, in order to give you a good quality of a video. Thank you, my friend, and see you soon. Ciao ciao.